In this tutorial, I'd like to give you some tips on ramps, railing, and stairs. So we are in the first floor view right here, and I'm going to go and click ramp on the top. And if I want to create a ramp from the concrete here up to the curb, which is here, I would first want to know the difference in height. And I know by checking it prior that it is a 4-inch difference. So we're always going to want to check these constraints. So make sure that you are always looking at these constraints over here. Full screen this video again if you need to, because the text can be kind of small. We want the base constraint offset to be at a minus 4 inches. And then I want the top level to be at first floor. So I'm going to drop from minus 4 inches to a first floor at 0 inches. And that is going to allow me to draw this ramp going up from the concrete down here up to this edge. Now I'm going to change my width right here. I'm going to set my width to 6 feet. So if I just hit 6 and apply, it will go into feet. And let me create this. I'm going to click down here, and you notice if I draw it up here, I'm not actually trying to draw it to connect perfectly with this edge, not yet. I'm just going to try to draw the ramp. So as long as I'm drawing it and I'm extending beyond that ramp, you don't want to end too early or you'll have too short of a ramp. You got to extend beyond that. So I click that, and now you can see I have my ramp right here. Well, now I'm going to need to align it. So I'm going to hit the green check, and I'm going to use my align tool that's up here. And I choose where do I want to align it to. I'm going to choose the edge first, and then I choose this front edge of the ramp right here, and that will snap it to that. So the align tool is how you align things. So oftentimes you'll see in a project something like, hey, let's fix this ramp and make it go longer. I'll tell you this, it is way easier if you just delete the old ramp and recreate a new one, or delete the stairs and recreate a new one if that is a situation that you run into, because sometimes extending them is not even a possibility. So if you need to do that, just delete it and redraw it. Well, if we look at this in 3D view, then we should be able to see that I have my ramp drawn and it's connecting up to the edge of the concrete. The other thing I want to show you is how you create a railing. So if we want to put a railing on one edge of this, we'll go back to first floor view, and I'm going to go into architecture, and now I'm going to click railing. So I click railing, and I want it to be on first floor. So always check your constraints. That is the level of this concrete. And I'm going to draw this from the center of this. And let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Somewhere in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to draw that, and I'm just going to draw right to here. And then I'm going to hit the green check, and now I have my railing, as you can see here. Well, what if I wanted to extend it all the way to the wall? Well, we'll go back to first floor. If I click my railing, you see up here it says Edit Path. So if I click Edit Path, then that will allow me to select this, and I can click and drag it all the way to the top. It's probably going to conflict with the open of this door here, but you can see in my 3D view the door is closed. I have a little conflict there, so obviously I'd want to move that over in real life, but I just want to show you how you create these kind of things, how you edit the sizes once they're created. And then again, if you need to edit a ramp, you're better off just hitting the delete key, delete that thing, and then redraw it. So if you run into that situation on a test later on, just make sure you use that scenario. And now let's take a look at how we would create a stairway. So I'm going to create a stairway that's going up to the second floor in this classroom. Now there's a ceiling in here, so it's going to look a little odd, but we're just practicing this. Now I want my stairway to be 4 feet wide. So when it turns, I need to make sure that I have 4 feet space here for a platform that I can use here to kind of come around the corner. So in order to do that, I'm going to go into Architecture, Model Line, and I'm going to just create a line from this room just to intersect the entire room. And then I'm going to hit the escape key to cancel out of that. And now I want to go over to Annotate and Aligned, because I need to make sure that this line is 4 feet from this wall. Now you can see I'm only on the center line wall there. That's because my modified place dimensions was set to center line. So I'm going to hit the escape key, and I'm going to change this to wall face. And now if I do it, it will allow me to select that edge. And then I can click down to here and let me place it. Now, in order to modify where this line is, I do not select this text. I select the line I want to move, which is the green line. And now this text is editable. So I can click that. I can hit 4 feet, enter, and now that line is 4 feet away
from this wall. So that way, when I make my stairs, I can make sure to turn the stairway before this line so I have enough room for my platform. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. We'll go to stair, and I want to go from first floor to second floor. I want the run width to be 4 feet. And the landing then is also going to be 4 feet. So this time, rather than make it from the center of the stair, which is what this says, location line center, I want it to be left edge justified here. So I'm going to click exterior support left, and I'm going to start drawing it right here. Let that snap to the intersection. If you're zoomed out too far, it's really hard to get it, so you can zoom in a little bit, scroll wheel up. So if I click that, if you see in faint gray, it says there's 22 remaining. And as I move up, you can see that number slowly decreases. So you can see I am going to need to go way past this line. Now, stairs are a discrete number of inches. The tread length in this is 11 inches deep. So it's not going to allow me to go exactly to this line because that total number of inches is 16 feet, 1 3/16 inches. That does not work to be divisible by 11. So even if I snap here, it is not actually going to work. It's actually going to place it just beyond, which is 16 feet, 6 inches. Well, I can't go beyond that line. So I'm going to go one snap before that, which is 15.7. I'm going to click it there. And now I need to place the next run going down this way. Remember, it's left edge, so I'd have to come out here and sort of guess. But instead of doing that, I'm just going to change it to right and then click right next to this one and then bring it all the way down. And it no longer tells me how many stairs are remaining in this. So I'm just going to go all the way down here to the bottom because I know that ought to be enough. You can see it didn't click all the way down here because it was only going to the second level. So you can see right here, I still have a slight gap on this. If I want to adjust the size of that, I can click on this edge, and then this little blue arrow will allow me to adjust that slightly. Looks like we're a little bit into the wall there, so I'm going to undo that and just leave it as is. And now I have my stairs with a 4-foot landing that does not intersect that wall because I gave myself that 4-foot reference line. So this is just another tip to use when you're creating stairs so you can create specific references to make it line up exactly with a wall or with itself as you're creating this. And if we take a look, view, and we go into camera view, I'm going to click from here, and I'm going to go just beyond the stairs so you can sort of see what it looks like. Again, we went up into the ceiling, so that's why we can't see the entire staircase because that ceiling is there. But this gives you kind of an idea of how we create that.